What I worry about is that some of our aviation industry, some of the experts and some of the ideas centered around diversity, equity, and inclusion seem to take the idea that we should relax standards in an effort to promote certain groups of certain racial or gender categories. And I just think that's a terrible, terrible way to run an airline industry.
Senator Vance.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair, and Mr. Washington. Thanks for being here. I want to ask just a threshold question here. So this is from the LA Metro Equity Platform. This is a graphic that appears, I believe, on the first page. And I understand this is something, the equity platform, you've supported over and over again in some of your public comments. I'd love for you to explain what this means.
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. Yes, we advocated and supported equity in a big way at LA Metro and every organization that I have been a part of. I think it's crucial for us to understand diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so what you're looking at is equity with everyone on a level playing field, if you will. And that is what we espoused at every organization that I've been in, especially LA Metro.
And what do these boxes represent, I guess? I mean, they're, equality here, they have different sized boxes, and then here, there are different boxes here. I'm just curious what this is supposed to mean.
Yeah. Well, that is, opportunity, if you will. Opportunity and how you position people that may be less fortunate for the same opportunities that other people might receive.
Okay. I got to say, Mr. Washington, I appreciate the attempt at an explanation there, but I don't fully understand why equality and equity are different. I would assume that equality of opportunity is something that we all believe in and agree with. Mm-hmm. I worry just in some of your public comments and some of the things that you've said, you tend to take this focus of explicitly saying that colorblindness, of looking at people without regards to skin color, is somehow in and of itself discriminatory. And I was hoping to elucidate that a little bit by appeal to this chart and try to understand it a little bit better. But I have to be honest, and I'm not trying to be rude, Mr. Washington, I just don't fully understand what this is meant to convey and how it might influence some of your policies. In an effort to kind of drill down to that, I just want to ask just a few questions here, because the aviation industry is maybe the single industry where aptitude and where safety matter more than almost anything else. I mean, I can't imagine even going under the knife. I'd probably choose having a safe pilot as more important than even going under the knife for a surgery. So I just want to ask sort of how this criticism of colorblindness that you've had in some remarks in your career intersect with how you think about the standards for pilots that exist in the aviation industry. So a few just very direct questions. Do you believe that white, black, and Latino airline pilots should be able to read, speak, and understand English before becoming commercial airline pilots?
Yes, I do.
Great. Thank you. Do you believe white, black, and Latino airline pilots should have to hold the commercial pilot certificate and an instrument rating as they currently have to do?
Yes, I do.
Great. Do you believe that white, black, and Latino airline pilots should have to have at least 1,500 hours of total flight time in order to receive an airline transport license?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Washington. I appreciate that, and here's the reason why I ask those questions, because there is an inconsistency between some of the diversity, equity, and inclusion rhetoric on the one hand, and the fact that we should hold everybody to equal standards no matter what. I have 3 young children, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. A couple of their grandparents live in San Diego, California, so they're on a flight a couple times a year at least. I'm actually totally supportive of what you might call a Rooney Rule here. I absolutely believe that if we take, black citizens or white citizens or anybody who hasn't had the same opportunities as everybody else, it's great to make that extra effort to ensure that they have the opportunity to become commercial airline pilots or federal administrators or whatever the case may be. What I worry about is that some of our aviation industry, some of the experts and some of the ideas centered around diversity, equity, and inclusion seem to take the idea that we should relax standards in an effort to promote certain groups of certain racial or gender categories. And I just think that's a terrible, terrible way to run an airline industry. I don't really care whether the pilot that I have, what their gender is, what their skin color is. I just care about whether they can do the job, and I hope that you're committed to the same exact attitude, because if we don't have safe airline pilots and if we relax the standards in an effort to get pilots of a certain skin color or a certain gender, it's going to be disastrous, quite literally. Thank you.